Have you ever felt invincible? Like the world was yours for the taking, untouchable by hardship? Chijioke, a man of wealth and influence, believed this. His confidence was unshakable until life humbled him. This is a story of pride, humility, and the quiet strength of a woman who led him toward redemption. The village where Chijioke resided was a tapestry woven from contrasts. Lush greenery carpeted the land, a testament to the fertility of the earth and the tireless efforts of its people. Tin-roofed houses, some weathered by time, others newly constructed with modern materials, dotted the landscape, reflecting the community's slow but steady embrace of progress. The air hummed with the sounds of daily life, the rhythmic pounding of mortars as women prepared meals, the laughter of children chasing each other through dusty pathways, and the melodic calls of vendors hawking their wares. Despite the encroaching tendrils of modernity, the village remained deeply rooted in tradition, its social hierarchy dictated by ancient customs and beliefs. Elders were revered for their wisdom, their counsel sought after for matters both big and small. Family ties ran deep, forming an intricate web of support and obligation that extended far beyond the confines of blood relations. It was within this vibrant yet intricate social fabric that Chijioke's story unfolded. His wife, Ngozi, was a woman of remarkable beauty and grace, her presence radiating a gentle warmth that drew people to her. Her wisdom, often overshadowed by Chijioke's boisterous nature, ran deep, nurtured by the lessons she had learned from her beloved mother, Mama Nkechi. Mama Nkechi, Ngozi's mother, was a pillar of the community, resilient, wise, and deeply respected. Yet Chijioke, blinded by pride, dismissed her wisdom as outdated, ignoring her counsel. He spoke over her, his tone condescending, while Mama Nkechi met his disrespect with stoic silence. Unbeknownst to Chijioke, his arrogance was sowing the seeds of his own downfall. Chijioke's prosperity was evident to all. His fields yielded bountiful harvests, and his home was filled with modern comforts rare in the village. He dressed in fine fabrics, his every step confident. Yet beneath this success, a quiet discontent grew. The more he achieved, the more he craved, ambition overshadowing simple joys and straining his bond with Ngozi. She bore his distance with grace, but sadness lingered in her eyes, a sign of the growing rift between them. Mama Nkechi, a silent observer to the unfolding drama within her daughter's household, watched Chijioke's transformation with a heavy heart. Her own life had been a tapestry woven from threads of both joy and sorrow. She had known hardship, had tasted the bitter sting of loss, but through it all, she had emerged with an unwavering faith in the fundamental goodness of humanity and the enduring power of love. She saw in Chijioke's relentless pursuit of material wealth a reflection of a deeper spiritual hunger, a yearning for something more meaningful than the fleeting satisfaction of earthly possessions. She recognized the emptiness that lurked beneath his confident facade, the gnawing sense of dissatisfaction that no amount of wealth or status could ever truly quell. Mama Nkechi, bound by her deep love for her daughter and the traditions of her people, chose to express her concern, not through confrontation, but through subtle gestures of wisdom and guidance. She would often share with Ngozi proverbs and parables passed down through generations, stories that spoke of the importance of humility, gratitude, and respect for elders. She hoped that her words, imbued with the wisdom of experience, would find their way to Chijioke's heart, gently nudging him back towards a path of balance and fulfillment. Word of Chijioke's changing demeanor spread through the village like wildfire. Whispers of his dismissive attitude towards Mama Nkechi, his growing arrogance, and his insatiable thirst for wealth reached the ears of even the most remote homesteads. Some villagers, blinded by envy, saw in his downfall a source of perverse satisfaction, their own struggles seemingly validated by his misfortune. Others, their hearts filled with genuine concern, shook their heads sadly, lamenting the corrosive effects of unchecked ambition. They worried that Chijioke, in his relentless pursuit of personal gain, had lost sight of the values that held their community together: respect, compassion, and a deep sense of interconnectedness. The once harmonious rhythm of village life seemed to falter, the air thick with unspoken tension. The elders, their wisdom born from years of observing the ebb and flow of human nature, recognized the precarious path Chijioke had chosen. They knew that true prosperity encompassed far more than material wealth, that lasting happiness stemmed from a life lived in harmony with oneself, one's community, and the natural world. And so they watched, waited, and prayed, hoping that Chijioke would soon realize the folly of his ways before it was too late. Chijioke's ambition burned fiercely, consuming all caution. Drawn by the promise of quick riches, he ignored the wisdom of his elders and surrounded himself with men of questionable intent. Family joys faded into the background, replaced by endless schemes. Ngozi watched, her heart heavy, as Chijioke's pursuit grew reckless and distant. Mama Nkechi, wise from years of experience, saw the dangerous path Chijioke was taking. She had witnessed families torn apart by unchecked ambition and greed. She tried to guide Chijioke, sharing stories and proverbs of humility and balance. But Chijioke dismissed her wisdom, believing his modern ways made tradition irrelevant. As Chijioke's pursuit of wealth intensified, cracks began to appear in the very foundation of his life. His once thriving fields, neglected in favor of his more lucrative but less ethical ventures, yielded meager harvests. His workers, their loyalty eroded by his increasingly demanding and disrespectful behavior, began to grumble amongst themselves, their once willing hands now moving with a distinct lack of enthusiasm. Even the walls of his opulent home seemed to absorb the growing tension, its once vibrant atmosphere now heavy with a palpable sense of unease. Meals, once joyous occasions filled with laughter and shared stories, became strained affairs, punctuated by Chijioke's distracted silences and Ngozi's forced smiles. The bond between husband and wife, once a source of strength and solace, began to fray under the weight of his ambition. Ngozi, her heart heavy with unspoken worry, found herself increasingly isolated within their own home. Her attempts to engage Chijioke in meaningful conversation were met with impatience, her concerns dismissed as insignificant compared to the complexities of his business dealings. The weight of Chijioke's pride, once a source of unwavering confidence, began to bear down on him with the crushing force of a collapsing mountain. The whispers of his recklessness had reached the ears of those whose wealth he envied, their greed ignited by his vulnerability. Deals soured, investments failed, and the once steady stream of wealth that had flowed into his coffers slowed to a trickle. The veneer of success that Chijioke had so carefully constructed around himself began to crumble, revealing the flawed and fragile ego beneath. He lashed out at those closest to him, his anger fueled by fear and a growing sense of desperation. He blamed Ngozi for his misfortunes, accusing her of not being supportive enough, of not understanding the complexities of his world. He disregarded Mama Nkechi's attempts to offer counsel, his words laced with bitterness and resentment. He retreated further into himself, isolating himself from the very people who genuinely cared for him. He surrounded himself with yes-men and sycophants, their hollow reassurances providing only fleeting comfort in the face of his mounting troubles. The once proud son of the village had become a shadow of his former self, consumed by his own hubris and teetering on the brink of ruin. As Chijioke's world spiraled into chaos, a storm gathered on the horizon, its dark clouds mirroring his turmoil. Word of his troubles spread quickly, and those who once sought his favor now turned away. Even the elements seemed to conspire against him. Mama Nkechi watched with dread, determined to protect her family from the storm that was about to break. Chijioke's fortunes collapsed, fields barren, workers gone, and his name now spoken with pity. The laughter in his home faded, replaced by silence and closed gates. Surrounded by family, Chijioke felt utterly alone, lashing out at Ngozi and blaming her for his failures. Ngozi's pleas to reach the man she loved were met with cold indifference. Chijioke became a pariah in his own village, every glance and whisper a reminder of his disgrace. Even children avoided him, reflecting the community's judgment. The emptiness of Chijioke's home mirrored his regret. Only humble keepsakes reminded him of simpler, wiser days. Chijioke begged Mama Nkechi for forgiveness, but she remained silent, knowing he must find redemption himself. He was left to walk his path alone. Desperate, Chijioke risked everything on a dangerous journey, ignoring Ngozi's warnings. He left, clinging to hope and pride. The forest closed in as Chijioke pressed on, fear and regret his only companions. He convinced himself this gamble was his last chance. At dawn, bandits surrounded Chijioke, sensing his desperation. Their leader mocked him, danger imminent. Mama Nkechi appeared, commanding the bandits to leave Chijioke be. Her presence, strong and unwavering, saved him. Mama Nkechi's protection stirred shame and hope in Chijioke. He wondered if this was his chance to change. The journey home was silent, Chijioke burdened by regret but sensing hope. He realized true strength lay in humility and forgiveness. Back in the village, Chijioke knelt before Mama Nkechi, confessing his pride and begging forgiveness. Humility replaced his former arrogance. Mama Nkechi listened, then spoke gently. It's never too late to change course and rebuild. Chijioke's journey toward redemption had finally begun. The road to redemption was long and arduous, paved with humility and hard work. Chijioke embraced this new chapter with quiet determination, his actions speaking louder than words. He sought forgiveness from those he had wronged, slowly mending the bonds of community. Working alongside Ngozi, the land responded to their efforts, new growth a testament to healing and shared purpose. Chijioke's journey reminds us, true wealth lies in the human spirit, in forgiveness, and in the strength of community. Chijioke's journey from arrogance to redemption reminds us that pride can sweep us away from humility, leaving us stranded on the rocks of our own making. His story echoes through generations, warning of empires built on ego and fortunes lost in pursuit of fleeting glory. The echoes of Chijioke's pride remind us, true character is found in humility, reflection, and the willingness to learn from our mistakes. Just as pride can cast a long shadow, darkening the path ahead, so too can respect illuminate even the most treacherous terrain, guiding us towards a brighter future. Chijioke's transformation, his journey from arrogance to humility, ignited a ripple effect, its positive vibrations spreading throughout the village, touching the lives of all who bore witness to his metamorphosis. The villagers, once eager to revel in his downfall, now looked upon him with newfound admiration, their hearts softened by his genuine remorse and his unwavering commitment to making amends. The elders, their wisdom vindicated, welcomed him back into the fold, recognizing that true growth often stems from the ashes of past mistakes. Ngozi, her love for Chijioke unwavering despite the trials they had endured, witnessed his transformation with a mixture of relief and gratitude. The man she had fallen in love with, the man whose kindness and generosity had once shone so brightly, had re-emerged from the depths of his despair, his heart softened by humility, his spirit strengthened by adversity. As the years passed, the memory of Chijioke's downfall faded into the background, overshadowed by the legacy of the man he had become. He embraced his role as a mentor to the younger generation, his life a testament to the transformative power of humility. He shared his story, not with bitterness or regret, but with a quiet wisdom that resonated deeply within the hearts of those who listened. He taught them the importance of respecting their elders, of honoring their traditions, of understanding that true wealth lay not in material possessions, but in the richness of their relationships, their connection to their community, their responsibility to the land that sustained them. And so the tale of Chijioke, the proud son who had lost his way only to find redemption in the embrace of humility, was passed down through generations, its message woven into the very fabric of their village, a beacon of hope reminding them that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit, guided by respect and compassion, has the capacity to rise above adversity and illuminate the path towards a brighter future.